Hi everyone, Team Scorpio here. I had a request from a friend to build him a ship. He wanted 3 things with this build: the most amount of cargo I could fit on the ship, automatic weapons so he would not have to worry about targeting, and decent shields so he can hold his own. After a couple attempts, we came up with this, the HMS Strongbow. This is a heavy cruiser with an emphasis on heavy. This ship has a mass of over 10,000. We managed to get over 48,000 cargo capacity on it. That should be enough to satisfy any Starfield horde. The downside is this ship is low on mobility, so to make sure it wasn't a sitting duck, we outfitted it with a good shield and 11 of the strongest autocannons in the game. Now this is a Class C ship, so you will need your piloting skill is rank 4, and since we are using some higher end parts, make sure your Starship design skill is rank 4, and you are at least level 60 and above to have access to all of them. Also, to get the most out of this ship, it would be a good idea to have your automated weapon system skill, your shield system skill, your payload skill, and your ship command skills all at the highest rank. But before we get into the build, a disclaimer. These builds are designed to serve as general guides and inspiration. You can follow these builds exactly, or use them as inspiration for your own creation. If there are design elements you feel could be improved, or there are other parts you prefer to use, feel free to modify the build however you like. Let your creativity run wild. Now let's start the build. We're starting off, as usual, at New Atlantis. We need a ship to modify. Like we always do, we're going to get the Rambler. If you have a spare ship to build off, you can skip this step. Talk to the ship's services technician and see what he has for sale. Grab the Rambler, which gives us a good starting ship that's easy to modify. Once we have that ship in our inventory, it's off to our next destination. Our first stop for parts is the Stroud Eklund shop in Neon. Head over to the Volley system and to Volley Alpha, and land in Neon Core. Once in Neon, turn left and head to the Stroud Eklund showroom. Once inside, go to the panel on the wall and select Modify Your Ship. We're just going to need one part from here. Go to the cockpit section, and we're going to need the Kon Tiki B600 bridge. Attach your new bridge to the ship. Delete the existing bridge and the missile launcher on the top of the ship. The Kon's bridge access point is on the bottom, so we need to attach it to the top of the hab. Don't forget to delete the equipment plate as well. Attach the bridge, and we're all set. That's all we need from here. Let's head to our next stop. We're heading over to the Sol system, and we're going to go to Titan first. We need to land at New Homestead. Once on the ground, talk to the ship technician and select View and Modify Your Ships. We have a few pieces to pick up here. I'll put the list on screen so you can purchase what you need. Okay, now that we have our pieces, let's review what we have. We got 2 Nova Cowling 2L PFs, 8 Nova Cowling 2L PMs, 2 Nova Cowling 1L PFs, and 14 NG20 wide landing gears. Now that may seem like a lot of landing gears, but we're going to need all of them to get the ship off the ground, as the ship will be very heavy. The next task is to fit these on your ship. You can do this any way you can, as long as the ship is flyable. If you want to follow along, here's what I did. I'm going to start by removing parts we don't need. I make sure we take the landing bay, flip it, and reattach it. Then I clear the rest of the unnecessary parts from the other side of the ship. I'm going to take our tank and move it back one spot. This is not really necessary, but it gives us a little bit more room. Now it's time to attach our new pieces. I start by taking 2 landing gears and putting them under the back of the ship. Then I start attaching landing gears to the side of those. I take 6 and attach them to one side of the ship. Then 6 on the other side. Next, take your sloped cowling and attach it to the front of the ship. Take the other one and attach it to the other side. Now, take the other cowlings and attach them to the back of the first cowling. You want to make sure the hook points are facing outwards. We can attach modules there later. Put 4 on each side. Take the last 2 pieces and attach them to the back hook points on each side. Now that the ship is flyable, exit the builder, and we're off to our next destination. From Titan, we're taking a quick jump over to the Deimos shipyard right in the same system. Once you have docked at the shipyard, head down the hall, take a slight left, round the corner, and down the stairs. Speak to Nico Henderson, select the option to view and modify your ships, and let's grab some more parts. It's not a big list, but there's still a few parts to pick up. I'll put the parts list on screen, pause the video now, and purchase these items. Okay, let's review and make sure we got everything. We have 1 100 DP Slim Docker, 3 Belly 4s, 1 Hull A, 1 Deimos Braking Engine, 1 Cowling 4, 2 Wing Ds. Again, we need to fit these parts onto the ship. Feel free to attach them any way you can, but here's how I attached them so I didn't have to buy any extra parts. I started by moving the front cowlings back a bit, as we're going to need some front hook points free. I then took the 3 belly pieces and attached them to our front-facing hook points. I now can take the hull piece and attach it to the top of one of the landing gears, and the braking engine gets attached to that. Take the cowling piece and attach it to the top of the landing gear on the other side of the ship. The wings can then be attached to any open hook point on the side of the ship. I put one on the hull and the other just below on the landing gear. Now delete the existing docker and mount our new docker on the same spot. Now, all the modules are attached, but you notice we are still getting an error. If we see what the error is, it says we have unattached modules. This is a common and frustrating error when building a ship. Here's an easy way to fix it. Double-click on any part of the ship. This will highlight all the modules attached to that piece in red. Now we can clearly see the cowlings on either side are not attached. Let's fix that. What we need is a hook point to attach that piece to the ship. Lucky for us, we have an open hook point towards the back. Select the third piece in the chain, hit space to edit it, and hit Z to flip it so the hook point now attaches to the ship. Now do the same for the other side. Now, when we double click the ship, the whole thing lights up red and we notice the error is gone. Once the parts are attached and the ship is flyable, we can head to our final destination, Aquila City. Head to your star map and we're looking for the Cheyenne system. Inside that system, we're looking for the planet Aquila, and then we're looking for Aquila City. Let's land here. Once on the ground, head down the path into the small building directly in front of you. The ship technician will be inside behind a desk. Talk to him, and then view and modify your ships. We have a lot of parts to buy here, so get your credits ready. I will put the full list of parts needed on screen. Pause the video here and purchase these parts. And that's a lot of parts, so let's review what we purchased so we're sure we have everything we need. We got one J52 Gamma Grav drive, one 900T fuel tank, one Pinch 8Z reactor, 6 SAL 6330 engines, one Assurance SG 1800 shield generator, 17 Galleon S204 cargo holds, 10 Galleon S203 cargo holds, 5 Tayo 1x1 companionways, 1 3x1 Stroud engineering hab, 4 Tayo side caps, 1 Tayo braking engine, 2 Stroud braking engines, 1 Stroud nose cap E, 2 Stroud mid bracers, 2 Tayo end cap port, 6 porthole ports, 1 Hopetech nose B, 2 Stroud cap A port for tops, 1 Stroud nose cap port for top, 2 Stroud cap C aft top. Once you have those, it's time to move the other pieces off the ship. You can put them wherever you want. I like to group the pieces together so I know where they generally are. Now delete the rest of the parts, as we will not need anything else from the ship. So here's our layout. I'll leave this on screen so you can match up with what you have. Now that we're all ready, let's build our ship. We're going to start with the landing bay. Let's move that over to the open work area. Flip it so it's facing backwards. Next, we're going to take a 1x1 hab and attach it to the landing bay. Now we're going to start building the main tower. Take your 1x1s and stack them on top of one another. You want to stack 3 more on top of the one that's attached to the landing bay. Now take your 3x1 hab and place it on top so the end piece is attached to the 1x1 below it, and the hab is sticking out of the structure by 2 pieces. Now take that last 1x1 and place it on top of the 3x1. Your tower should now look like this. Take the bridge and place it on top of the tower. Now our landing bay is connected to our bridge. Next, we're going to start building out the base of the ship. We're going to start with our 204 cargo holds. Take one and place it on the side of the second hab up from the bottom. Take another one and place it on the other side. Now let's take more cargo holds and place them on the front of the existing holds. We're going to place 5 more in a line on each side of the ship, so there are 6 total in a line on each side. Now take one cargo hold and put it in between the other 2 columns on the 5th one up, like so. Take another hold and attach it to the side of the first cargo holds we placed, like wings on the side. Do the same for the other side. You should now have a general shape to the ship, and there should be 2 holds left. We'll worry about those later. Now we're going to begin placing our landing gears. Let's take a gear and place one of them under each of the 2 holds at the back of the ship. Do the same for the other side. If you look at the back of the ship, you should have 2 gears, then the landing bay attached to the hab, and then 2 more gears. Now we're going to take more landing gears and attach them under the other bays. We need 4 more on a row on one side, and then 4 more in a row on the other side. Now if we pan under the ship, we can see we have an open space in the middle and a hab in the middle towards the front. Let's start filling in that area. First, we're going to take one of our landing gears and attach it to the underside of the bay in the middle of the ship. Now we're going to take our other landing gear and attach it in between the back two gears of the empty space of the ship, just in front of the 1x1. Now we're going to take our last two 204 bays, and those are going to go in between the other landing gears in the open space. This creates a pocket in the middle of our ship. I'll pan around the ship so you can get a general sense of the shape so far, and make sure your pieces line up with mine if you're following along. Now we're going to fill in that open pocket with our drive section. We're going to take our tank first and place it just behind the main tower. Next, we're going to take our grav drive and place that in front of the tank. And lastly, we're going to put the reactor in front of the drive. Now let's place the other cargo holds. We're going to take one of the S203 cargo holds and place it on top of the hold of the wing of the ship. We're going to take the other hold, flip it so it's facing the opposite way, and place that in the same spot on the other side. Next, take two holds and we're going to put them on the top of the cargo holds on the main body of the ship. One next to the fuel tank, the other next to the grav drive. Now take two more and place them next to the others. Now let's do the same on the other side. Maybe easier just to drag the holes over to the other side of the ship. Then flip them and line them up in a row. This lets you place them all at the same time. Now we're going to place our engines on the back of the ship. The first one will go on the wing area, attaching to both hook points. The top of the engine should be even with the top of the cargo bay. Do the same on the other side of the ship. The next engine will attach to the cargo bay next to the wing. Again, the top of the engine will be even with the top of the bay. This will offset the engine slightly. Do the same on the other side. The last two engines will go in the middle, stacking on top of one another on the tower section. This will leave one free hook point just below the bridge. Now let's just adjust our camera a little and continue with the build. I'm going to take the side caps and attach them to the wing sections. One's going to go on the cargo bay and the other on the landing gear. This hides them a little bit. Now take one of the Stroud cap Cs that are facing backward and we're going to attach it in the open space in between the wing and the tower. It should attach so that part of it is covering the engine. This not only fills in the look a little, but will give us a space to mount weapons later. Do the same on the other side. While we're here, we might as well finish the back of the ship by attaching the Hope Tech Nose B to the open hook point at the back of the tower. Now that the back is done, let's add some side trim. We're going to take the whole Nova cowling section, which should be the sloped section in the front, in 4 straight sections in a row after that. And this will go on the side of the S204 cargo bays. Make sure all your hook points are facing inwards towards the cargo bays. We're going to take the other section and attach it to the opposite side. Next, let's finish off the wings. We're going to take those end caps and attach it just in front of the landing gear on the wing. We're going to take the other end cap and attach it to the other side, making sure the rounded section is facing out. Now that's done, let's build out the front of our ship. We're going to take a Stroud mid-bracer and attach it to the front of one of the cargo bays that is sticking out. Now let's do the same on the other side. Now take the Demos Hull A and attach that to the cargo hold that is tucked away in the middle of the ship. Take the Stroud braking engines and attach it to the front of the Stroud habs, one on each side. The Demos braking engine will get attached to the Demos hab in the middle of the ship. Next, take your nose cap B and attach it to the middle of the ship, just in front of the reactor. Now we're going to take one of the Stroud cap A's and attach that above the Stroud mid-bracer just in front of the cargo hold. Take the other one, flip it so it mirrors the other piece, and attach it to the other side. Now we can kind of see the ship coming together. Let's finish off the bottom by attaching the Tayo braking engine to the center of the Demos pieces. Now take the Demos belly pieces and attach those on either side just in front of the landing gears. Now let's work on that tower. First, let's grab that last Demos belly, and that's going to go just under our 3x1 hab, all the way in the back. Now we're going to take the Demos cowling 4-piece, and that will go on top of the 3x1 hab towards the back. As you can see, this gives that a little bit of a pointed shape. Next, take the Stroud nose cap and place it on the front of our 3x1 hab. Now take that shield generator and attach that to the top of the grav drive underneath the hab overlook. Now we need to attach our ship docker. This is going to go under the ship. So let's flip it so it's facing downwards. Now we need to place it at the bottom of the ship on the 1x1 hab, just behind the landing bay. Now let's finish off this tower. Take the Nova cowlings and place them on the first free hook point at the base of the tower. Next, take the portholes, and those will be attached to the open spots on the 3x1 hab. Lastly, let's take our Demos wings and attach those to the remaining open hook points on the tower. Now that the core of the build is complete, the only thing left to do is to get some weapons on here. As with any build, the choice of weapons is up to you. My friend requested all autocannons, so that's what we're going to put on this ship. We're going with 3 sets of the strongest autocannons I could find. We're starting with 4 PBO 300 auto alpha turrets, followed by 4 Jaisaku ND-RF rapid railguns, and finally 3 Reza 300 pulse lasers. We can only do 3 of those last ones as they use a little bit more power than the others. For mounting, I'm going to put the 3 Reza lasers at the front of the ship facing forward. I'm going to mount the PBO 300s to the sides of the ship, 2 on each side. For the railguns, I'm going to place 2 facing backwards on the rear cowlings. As you can see, when we try to attach them here, the piece is red. We have to use our glitch trick to mount them correctly. While holding your left mouse button, hit Z to flip the piece. I flip them a few times so they go back to facing backwards. Then release your left mouse button and hit escape. This will attach the piece where you want. Do the same on the other side. You can put the last 2 cannons in between the PBOs on each side. Now that our ship is armed, we need to assign our weapons. It doesn't matter where you assign these, as they are all auto-fire turrets. Now you can rename your ship whatever you want. And finally, we have to change this factory color. I'm going to go a little on the darker side with deep red accents. Now that the Strongbow is finished, you can see the base stats here, which is before any skills or crew bonuses are applied. Let's go take a look at the ship. As we leave the text building, we can see the ship just towering in the distance. This gives you a sense on how massive this ship is. Let's go around the outside so you can get a good look at the ship on the ground. Let's go take a quick look at the interior. There's really not much inside, as most of the ship is taken up by cargo holders. If you are using this ship, I would probably just go straight to the cockpit. Once inside, you can see the ship docker at your feet. And if we look up, you can see the mother of all ladders. I hope you have your climbing shoes on. As we go up the ladder, there really isn't much to see until you get up to the 5th floor of the ship. This is the overhang of the ship. I use the engineering section here for the crew spot, but you can use whatever 3x1 have you. Now back on the ladder, and let's head up to the cockpit. The cockpit, while not the biggest one in the game, is roomy with plenty of crew spots. We have our storage areas on the back wall, and unlike some other cockpits, our pilot seat sits front and center in front of some huge windows, giving you a great view. You can really see how high up you are. And that's the end of our build video. Thank you for sticking to the end. If you enjoyed this Starship build, please hit like and subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon to be notified when I put out more Starship builds. I'm Team Scorpio, and I'll see you in the next video.